And you can see all the brown, the tan, that is way down the scale. You have to go way out off towards our east and out into the Gulf to see where the real deep moisture is located. So it's going to feel more like California rather than Texas over the next several days as we continue to see the trough that brought us the cold front that is out in the Gulf. And as you can see, a northwesterly wind flow in the upper levels. That is usually a dry flow. We'll be watching this upper level low kind of sling out an upper level disturbance. We'll put this into motion, and there comes that disturbance right there and comes on into Texas. This is what I'm talking about. Usually we would go with the chance of showers and storms because of the dynamics. However, we don't have much moisture in the atmosphere, so it may just kick up a few clouds and that's it. And then as we head towards, say, late next week, we may get some moisture trying to work in from the east, but again, it all depends on what happens with the storms over towards the southeastern U.S. And again, looking at those, we're watching, oh wow, now they're forecasting a Cat 5 out of Umberto, but again, this is going to go out to sea. At this system, which is going to be a MELD, its potential tropical cyclone number 9, could be quite a historic rainfall event off to the southeast U.S. Carolina coastline, where it's showing, European showing anywhere between as much as 20 inches over the next week or so. Otherwise, looking at a quiet night tonight, you know about the temperatures in the upper 50s, lower 60s lakes, and the mid to upper 60s tomorrow. Beautiful weather coming up tomorrow afternoon with lots of sun. On the Gulf, looking at mostly smooth seas around a foot in the northeast, wind at 5 to 10 knots. Your coastal marine, clear and cool tonight, lows in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Lakes tomorrow, mid 80s. And taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast, quiet weather at least through the next 4 or 5 days with cool nights and warm afternoons, lots of sun. The muggies start trying to move back in late next week.
Patrick, I haven't seen a clean forecast like that
in a while.
Minute. Yeah.
It's nice to have those every once in a while.
It is. You don't have to worry about the rain and everything.
Yeah.
No
Enjoy.
rain for football. We love it.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor. Now, don't you guys go anywhere. The 409 Sports Blitz starts at 10:20 right after this break.
I think I had it blocked out where I was.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, if you're. Yeah, oh yeah, dude, said you can join us if you want. We don't care.
Actually, we're just gonna do the whole blitz. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you just queen of the blitz. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna have. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. There. Oh, there's your thing right there, brother.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Where is?
Live from the 409, sponsored by MCT Credit Union, it's the 409 Sports Blitz on 12 News.
Howdy, Southeast Texas. Welcome to the 409 Sports Blitz. I'm Holton Pepper.
Yeah, I'm Nick Canizales. Guess what? We have a lot of great games across Southeast Texas tonight, but none bigger than our game of the week between Lumberton and Bridge City. Boy, I tell you what, Holton, Cardinals came in averaging 34 points on offense. Raiders trying to keep that momentum going after a 3-point win against Jasper
Good pass
last
over the middle.
week. How about that? That is a really, really good pass.
Yes.
Bridge City, they've been playing really well.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of picked up where they left off a year ago. That 7-0 run. Hey, they're off and running tonight. That was a big play. Now their defense. Look at that. That could be a nomination for Hit of the Week right there. Lumberton trying to get something going on offense here around the left side. He could go. Look at that blazing speed. He's in for the touchdown.
Kid can go.
Oh, hey, listen, this was a, they were down early. Bridge City trying to get back into this here. Oh, thread the needle. What a pass right there.
Great pass over the middle.
That is a great touchdown. This was a 26-7 game at one point. Raiders trying to claw their way back. It is picked off by the Cardinals.
This defense is ferocious.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
telling you, this is their strong suit.
They have been playing really, really good defense all season long. Let's go to the big board here because the Bridge City Cardinals, late fourth quarter.
Oh, my goodness.
They are putting it on the Lumberton Raiders, 40-17 right now. Cam Burchett joins us live tonight from Larry Ward Stadium. And Cam, Bridge City, look, they've been doing what they've been doing all season long.
Yep.
Offense moving the ball up and down the field. Defense playing outstanding tonight.
Yeah, you've got to pardon me because the game is still going on. We've got 1 minute and 9 seconds, and Lumberton currently has possession of the ball. They're pretty close to their end zone, what looks to be about 20-30 yards away right now. Score is currently 40-17. The Cardinals are up, which take a note of that score there. The Raiders have 17 points up against the Cardinals, which is different between any other opponent that the Cardinals have played this season, when the highest that they've scored is 14 points they've allowed an opponent to score. But what's different about this is the Raiders were able to get past 17 points in the Cardinals. And again, the snap just happened. They're looking for somebody to throw to. Quarterback on Lumberton. He's looking, and he's taken down by that defense of Bridge City Cardinals again. And that looks like we're on now on the 3rd down. And again, it's still in Lumberton's possession, but again, that clock is running. We've got 52 seconds left on the clock, guys. Like I said, it's been back and forth all night, but we're still just going to be here and tell you all the awesome stuff of it whenever this game wraps up. But again, the clock is going down, and again, it's in Lumberton's possession. 40-17. Cardinals are up, and again, this is the first week of district play, so now is the time when it really, really counts. So again, the ball's going. He's looking for open. He's thrown it. And it's no good. It's no good, getting everybody excited in here for no good reason. But again, now that calls it 4th down, and so we're just going to see how this kick goes. But guys, like I said, it's a very fluid situation. 26 seconds left on the clock, guys. It's all on the line here. It could be a possible first win for the Cardinals in district play for this week. And again, they could be handing the Raiders their first loss. We'll see how it goes. But again, 26 seconds left on that clock, guys. Go ahead and send it right back to you so we can see how this game wraps up.
Yes, thank you, Cam. So that Bridge City, once again, another one of those teams that I love to watch, because time and time again, if they're throwing different punches and they answer the bell every single time. The defense for Bridge City.
Hey, look, man, they've been playing great. 14, 13, 14, and then 17 points tonight.
Exactly.
Defense wins championships.
That's
kind of like we said, picked up where they left off a year ago. They are the district favorite. Their team is loaded with a lot of talent. But yeah, this first one here, first win's always big. Now you got to move on to this next one here and see if they can keep that momentum going.
Now the thing about Bridge City is you have that district is pretty loaded, and we'll talk more about Vidor and how they fared up against LCM, but they're gonna have to face those teams as well. But time and time again, what could have been its own game of the week. Beaumont United and their new identity with Drenard Williams, 3-1 over their pre-district schedule, but now they welcome in the undefeated Port Arthur Memorial Titans, who, Nick, they are sprinkled with Division I talent all over the field.
They're my top team in Southeast Texas right now. I have them number 1, P&G number 2, but they're loaded.
And you're gonna see why. The lowest scoring game for the Titans was week 1 when they only scored 48 points. No big deal. And if you dismiss the P&G game, Beaumont United's defense has been pretty decent.
Yeah, you know what? And look, Beaumont United had a tall task. Could they defend home court here or home field advantage? Or will the Titans just keep running all over the place?
These two teams are pretty phenomenal, but defensively, Port Arthur is a really good team. And, of course, we got the flat out here. Starting with the Titans' possession, the TCU commit Amonte Martin. He faked me out. You saw it with the first throw. He finds Alex Eugene, who goes into the flat and all the way for the Titans' touchdown. And spoiler alert, it does not stop there. Later, the Titans threatening again. Martin in the shotgun waiting. Rockets over the middle to the Cougars commit. Kevon Roberts and his 6'4" frame prances into the end zone. It's 14-0 Titans. But then the turnover bug got to the Titans. We talked about this a little bit before the show. Handoff to Eugene. He coughs it up, and BU pounces on it. Tylen Merriweather, he gets it back for the Timberwolves and gives the BU faithful something to cheer about. The Titans do get it back, and the handoff to Eugene, fresh on their next possession, and he coughs it up.
That's something you don't see him. You don't see it happen.
No, he's one of the most hardworking and highly talented prospects, and just had a pretty rough first half. So now in the backfield is Pierre Gray, and I think he lathered himself in Timberwolf repellent because look at this run. It's incredible. Way to get inside the 10-yard line. Of course, he finishes it off here with a handoff up the middle and increases the lead for the
Eugene
Titans.
is thunder. This man is lightning.
I like that. I like that.
That's a big man right there running right there.
Look, and you see this band. I had to kind of brag on the band because once the trumpets got going with that, dude, it gave me chills. I'm not even kidding. It gave me chills. Another chance for the Titans to really put the Wolves down before the half. And Martin, look, strong in the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, got his feet moving under him, and Jordan Jones just got lost back there. Easy pitch and catch to make it 28-0 at the time. Oof. But then, you want to take it from there?
62-0. Port Arthur Memorial just steamrolls tonight. Keep rolling. Like I said, they're just loaded with talent.
Loaded, man.
They should make a deep run in the playoffs, which is way far ahead now.
Right.
But I tell you what, though, that's a good start.
That's a fantastic
really good start.
And what a message to the rest of that district. 62-0. What a message that's being sent.
And it's just playing consistent week after week after week. There's no let up in this team.
No, absolutely not.
No let up.
Absolutely not. But okay, all right. So look, Hampshire-Fannett. When the Longhorns took one on the chin last week, but Fort Bend Crawford, that's a great.
It
team.
is, and Hampshire-Fannett, that was actually their first home loss since October 20th of 2022.
Yeah,
though,
wow.
Look, man, they look to bounce back in a big way against the Stafford team. They beat last season 34-14. Look, they racked up 362 yards on the ground a year ago. But would it be the same result if they close out non-district play? First quarter action, Jess Folsom. Hey, looking like another 22 from a team of the 90s, Holton.
Yes,
Who am I talking about?
Yes, sir.
Those Dallas Cowboys. Hey.
They need him back.
Not
I'll tell you what.
2025 Cowboys. We're looking at the 90s Cowboys.
We need those guys
Walks
back.
in 7-0 Horns. Jace Bennett had a long run. Pierce Pirtle follows that up. That's a touchdown right there. 14-7 Hampshire-Fannett. They were not done just yet. Blake Broussard, the slant to Malachi Adams. Makes a few people miss, like prime Randy Moss. This man is gone. Hey, and Moss was nasty.
Man, hey, look,
nasty
I
back in the
he was good.
Back in the late 90s. Hey, 90 yards to the house. Longhorns led 21-7 at the break. Let's go to the big board because they stepped on the gas and never looked back. 31-14 is your final. They are 4-1 on the season. They will open district play at Silsbee next Friday night.
Great, fantastic matchup that's going to be. We're going to obviously talk about Silsbee in just a little bit, but this whole district, what do we talk about? We call it the SEC of Southeast
District
Texas.
of Doom is what it is.
It really is. It really is, man. Really good teams. But there's one program that might get a little bit of a shout out here tonight. East Chambers, they got off to a 3-0 start behind a solid offense, but the defensive unit,
they're really good. On the flip side, Buna Cougars, look, they picked up their first win of the season against Coons last week, but Russ Sutherland could have a big milestone tonight.
Big milestone. We'll see. We will just see, just in case. Could they carry that momentum? Obviously, we had that. We talked about them this week, the Buna Cougars, and what a win it was over those Coons Lions. And right here, Darius Edmondson is going to roll. Look at the beat. That's a big man touchdown. That is a big man touchdown. Great job there from Edmondson. East Chambers again with the football here. This time, we got J.D. Zerby. He's going to take the snap and looks to the flat. It's a screen pass out to Ethan West, who catches it and runs a great run in there. And again, just outside, East Chambers are really, really talented. Every year, I think Russ Sutherland puts a little extracurricular there. Braxton Stemmett's up the middle, set up the rushing touchdown to Tanner Crane. There's your final, 21-14.
Man, that was close. A lot closer than what the experts predicted.
So with that score, I'll give you the honor. With that score, that means that
Russ Sutherland, career win number 200. So congratulations, Coach. He's a good dude.
Great
really
guy.
good guy,
Great
man.
guy. One of my favorites here in Southeast Texas for sure. That doesn't mean I have a hierarchy list out there if some of these coaches are watching. That doesn't mean that. But Russ Sutherland, and I think every other coach in this area would talk about how good of a man Russ Sutherland
Just
really
highly
is.
respected.
And every year, even on their down years, East Chambers finds a way to get in there and do what they got to do. But let's go ahead and look at some of those other scores from across Southeast Texas.
Hey, we're going to start with number 5 Newton visiting Anderson Shiro. They dominated tonight 62-7. Wow, it was brutal. Woodville and Trinity. Look, this was kind of like Tommy Hearns versus Marvin Hagler first round. I called the war. 34-28 halftime. Luke Babin threw 8 touchdowns tonight?
At one point, he had 8 touchdowns. Kid was incredible.
Wow.
And you look at that.
62-35.
A great win for Woodville. They're another problem as well. But let's go ahead and jump on in to Band of the Week. And we, of course, want to tell our NBC viewers to flip on over to ABC 12 to see the rest of 409 Sports.
Amazing coaches, band, drill team, and cheerleaders tonight. Thank you, parents, faculty, and staff, and Beaumont.
Welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. You know, I hate they might be pretty happy with the end result.
Yeah, it is.
Tonight.
You know, LCM, Vidor, both teams searching for a win, which is kind of hard to believe, but they had a really tough non-district schedule.
If I recall correctly, they both played HF and they both played Silsbee.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
And they both lost to those twads. 0-3 each of them. They hit the bye week, so time to rest up and get ready to rock and roll. Come back out here and win.
Yeah, let's go to the highlights here because somebody had to win tonight, and the winner would actually get a leg up in that tough district of theirs.
Yeah,
because,
huge up. Yeah, huge up.
It's always good to start 1-0 in district play because that district, like we're talking,
Huffman,
no joke,
Lumberton,
10-4A
HJ,
Division
yeah,
One.
big one.
Jalen Morris, we talked about him all season long. Big run here to the left side, follows those blockers. He's going to get pushed down right at the 1-yard line. So what's going to happen? That's going to set up this touchdown here up the middle. Dustin Payne for the touchdown. 7-0 LCM. Vidor. Hey, where is he at? Where's he at? He's over here. That's Landon
Down
Jones.
the sideline.
Down the sideline he goes. And look, he's got one ball. Oh, no, the turf monster got him.
No.
That's okay, though, because Blake Safer with a little touchdown run right there. Oh, actually,
yeah, look at the pass. Yeah.
The pass.
That's
right
what they
there.
win team, man. Don't freak out.
Yeah. Jackson Strub with a long pass himself, coming right in your living room.
yeah.
Look at that. Caden Reed, one of the best wide receivers in Southeast Texas.
Absolutely.
Drops it in the basket. This was a monster game here. LCM goes on to win 60-37 in a shootout.
Man, LCM, what a fantastic showing by them. But we got a guy on standby right now, Mr. Brett Strahan, standing out there ready to talk about this one. I mean, Brett, LCM, we knew coming into this game how quickly this team can score. Watching this one, how electrifying was it watching LCM move the football?
Yeah, guys, it was like you said, it was a shootout.
Boots House Properties is your quality custom Orange County home builder. Let us build your dream home today.
It's my pastime. Then by the end of the game.
All right, listen, they're playing a little Sweet Caroline
Sweet
back
Caroline,
there.
they're celebrating.
Poor Brett feels like he's at a rock concert, trying to go live out there. We'll go back live to Brett later on in the show. But poor Brett.
Hey, it will get you. Don't worry, Brett. We're coming back.
That's
you know,
all right.
It's
I
one of those
feel
things that
his pain.
happens.
I was at Mississippi State last weekend visiting my daughter and the cowbells and stuff. I couldn't hear a thing out there. So
you know, hey, what can you say? Live television, man. This is what happens. These are the things that happen.
No
but let's go ahead and move on to another really good matchup. A couple teams. One in particular, we're talking Kirbyville and Anahuac. Kirbyville, one of those programs that's beginning to find their footing, and then Greg Neese needs to get, like when they get back into district play, they had a very, very tough non-district schedule that they played, and then this would be a lot to get them in the win column.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've been struggling on offense a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. On the flip side, after dropping their first two games of the season, Kirbyville, they've also won 2 straight. But listen, it doesn't even matter now.
No, it does not, because you wipe the slate clean coming into district play, and District 10 3A Division 1. I mean, this is it's a great district. You got your Orangefields. I mean, there's a lot of action in this one. So Kirbyville with the ball. This one, Elijah Johnson throwing over the middle. Excuse me, that's TJ Allen. My bad. TJ Allen throws over the middle. Elijah Johnson gets all the way into the end zone. That was an insane play. Great job there. Kirbyville 7, Anahuac nothing. But Anahuac says, oh no, we got Braden Such throwing to Jatwan Dowdy, and he gets in to the end zone. To tie things up, answers right back. Anahuac, of course, now with Braden Such, he's going to hand off to Darius Richardson. Look at him go. Pushes it to the outside, inside the 10, and in for the end zone. 14-7, Anahuac. And then Braden Such again. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just hand it off. Yeah, O-line moves so well.
Where was the defense?
You got to wonder, man. Oscar Garza, touchdown there. Extra point was no good, though. 20-7. Kirbyville, though, TJ Allen, he's a great quarterback. He passes the screen pass to Cooper Murphy, who's got one man to beat inside the 10-yard line into the end zone. Their conversion was good. It was 20-15. And then we got Kirbyville again. Allen this time trying to escape something to the pocket, and he's going down.
Oh, it's a fumble.
And he picks it up. It's stripped and picked up by Trustin Nelson. Trustin Nelson, that is. Goes in the extra point.
We always love a big man touchdown.
Big man touchdown. I know Brandon Roddy's losing his mind at home right now. Congratulations to you again, sir. Anahuac 26, Kirbyville 15, but that one, looky there. Oh,
late fourth quarter.
You asked, where are the defenses? I guess that they just didn't really show up today.
This reminds me like an old Texas Tech Baylor game I used to cover back in the day.
Big 12. This is
no
a Big 12
defense.
game.
Big 12, old Big 12 game.
That's
right
old
there.
Big 12 game right there. Absolutely no defense whatsoever. All right, we got to give some love to the TAPS Legacy Christian Academy, able to rest up after a nice bye week before taking on Baytown Christian.
Yeah, Warriors came in, look, 2-1 on the season, hoping that offense will kind of continue to pile the points on. We're going to go out there. Everybody was yelling loud and proud. They weren't yelling right there, but they were going to be yelling here in just a bit as Bronson Widler going to flick it over to Jason Rosado.
Look at that name.
Oh, yeah. Going to carry it down the field for a Warrior touchdown. How about that? Look at that. Warriors go on top early on. So Legacy, well, they're going to kind of induce and get the fumble here.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? That's going to be a hit by Big Ben Kirkendall. Fumble recovery by Bronson Wedler. And Legacy goes on offense. Ty White. You're going to see him right here. The little rushing touchdown.
Oh, yep.
Oh, the little razzle-dazzle trickery.
Little razzle-dazzle.
Look at that. For another touchdown.
If when it works, it works. When your trickery works like that, and you can just kind of waltz into the end zone like that, man. That's when it works.
This game was obviously high scoring. And a little defense here, but how about
this? Yeah, a little
this?
defense, there we go.
24-19. Wow.
Imagine that. 24-19.
Did not expect that.
No.
Most time these games are usually just wild.
Yeah, and they're obviously like people don't talk about six-man football enough.
No,
man.
I love six-man football.
You know what was great about those six-man football? Some of those plays, trickeration, moving around. Okay, well let's go check back in with our friend Brett Strahan. Oh yeah, there we go. We got it turned around. We'll just you know what? Hey, Brett, tell me what's going on, brother. You feeling better out there?
Yeah, guys. Well, the defense is like my microphone earlier. They were not doing much out here. So we had a bit of a track meet going on. 61 total points combined between these two teams going into halftime. By the end of everything, it was 97 total. The Bears take it 60-37. But, Vidor, kind of like their last game against Hampshire-Fannett, they just kind of refused to die. They stuck around and they really gritted it out. Now, going into this game, these two teams were strikingly similar. Both 0-3, both dealing with some pretty major injuries, and both dropping games to both Silsbee and Hampshire-Fannett. But also both showed a little something against those two teams who are very talented. Now, as far as LCM goes, they kept wanting to pull away with this one, and it was mostly led by Jalen Morris. Y'all are saying earlier, y'all talked about him all offseason, and guys, the hype was real. Morris at times looked unstoppable. He was explosive. He was shifty. Nobody could get a hand on him. He juked me out trying to film him. So I really do feel like I do feel for these Pirates trying to tackle the kid. But yeah, like I said earlier, both these teams dealing with injuries. A big storyline coming into this was LCM quarterback Braylon Lewis has not played a game yet. He went down earlier in a scrimmage and we've been waiting kind of for that to see how that played out. But on the bright side, backup quarterback Jackson Strew has filled in pretty admirably. He's looked very solid throughout these last several games, and he has captained the offense. He made a couple plays with his arms, and he made some really big plays with his legs, scrambling around, keeping the play alive. But yeah, that offense was potent tonight, which is a big thing because LCM coming into this game, they had not scored more than 14 points prior to this. So this is a game that, they're really happy to see. Vidor, on the other hand, they're on a streak as well. They have now given up over 40 points in every one of their last games. The thing with them, their offense has looked very good at times. That wing tee offense, it'll chip away at defense, but it's hard to come back in these kind of shootouts with. It's very methodical. So that offense, it needs a little help for the defense. So both these teams got big games in district coming up, and we'll see how that shakes out. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I'll toss it back to y'all. This has been Brett Strahan, 409 Sports.
Yeah, we could hear him that time. That was good.
And listen, this Vidor offense, it has improved since week one. Yeah. Every week they've improved the point total. Mm-hmm. It's just they got to tighten up that defense a little bit, man. If the defense can help them out a tad bit, they could have, easily been instead of 0-4. Maybe picked up a couple of wins. But, got to fix that defensive side of the football. Offense is kind of doing their job. But, go back to work on Monday, watch film, and get ready to rock and roll.
One team that's going to be excited on Monday, though, is LCM. And we'll talk a little bit more about that district because there is a team in here that has joined the ranks of LCM, Bridge City, and then Huffman got the win tonight as well. So there's 4 teams, obviously, at the top of this district now. One of them, it's a program we'll talk about later, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from that one. But LCM, again, that's a program that just to close that book. But LCM is a program that, again, every time that someone plays against them, and they may defeat them in the preseason, the coach has nothing but great things to say about Coach Peavy and his program because they know they're going to have a lot of wins in district.
No doubt.
This is the kind of program you'll begin to see.
No doubt about that. That's a good win. Start out 1-0, and now they got to just keep it rolling. Momentum is so hard in,
It is.
in any type of sports. But hey, you get that first one out of the way, you're good.
Winning Friday night in Texas high school football is a great thing, and Orangefield knows a lot about that. Orangefield is definitely one of the more electrifying teams in this area. They dropped the Bayou Bowl to the Cardinals this year, but quickly made amends against the St. Louis Catholic guys. They can score fast. This game against Hardin tonight could determine the district, though.
Yeah, let me tell you about Hardin Hornets. If you haven't been paying attention, they're like the 85 Bears. They are stingy on defense. They're 4-0. The defense has allowed 12 points the entire season.
That's insane.
The entire season.
Yeah. All season long, this defense has been extremely difficult to score on. Me and Roddy were talking about that last week, just really shocked at that. Hardin with the football, though. We begin with our highlights. A trickery in the backfield in the wing T look. Javion Watley ends up with the football. Keeps his feet moving all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That's a big boy run. I'm telling you, man. Later in the drive, Trevor Jones ends up with the rock. He finds a seam, and he's brought down finally before reaching the end zone, but still dragged a defender with him. Kid is a beast. Orangefield now looking in the red zone. Carson Gonzalez searching for the man in the end zone, keeps his feet under him. And the soup son, Rylan McCaplin, who hangs on for the precious and rare touchdown against a very good Hornets defense. And now, of course, Hardin in the wing T again. There's Jones. He ends up with the ball down the left sideline, of course, inside the red zone. Big stiff arm to get in there. And then Hardin basically abandons the wing T. Look at this. They're going to take the snap. We got guys out wide. We're going to throw the ball deep into the end zone and makes the catch. What a catch.
How about that?
What a throw. Look, you run the wing T the whole time. Eventually, you can pop one like that. You know, Hardin with the touchdown there. This one, though, look at the final score on this one. Hardin is that kind of a program, man. Orangefield is not a bad program by any means. Orangefield is a fantastic program, but Hardin
5-0. How about those Hardin Hornets, man?
Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome.
A couple years ago, you might not have been talking about the Hardin Hornets like this.
How about that? That's
not
awesome.
like this. And now they're beating up with what was supposed to be, coming back in. Obviously they won district last year, the Orangefield Bobcats. That's a huge win.
That's a big win there. And like I said, the defense, held them to 24 points. So not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all, especially from what they had so far. But we're going to check in on some other scores from around Southeast Texas this time.
Yeah, how about those Chester Yellow Jackets, 69-56 over Oakwood. And then Deweyville goes on the road. They fall to West Sabine 42-18.
Now the Dogs, though, you'll see that in just a minute, the Nederland Bulldogs, they have had quite a lot of fun this year, and you can see tonight another step forward for this program, which I think the offense is really starting to find who they are.
Yeah, I know. 1-0 in district play. They're going to host Dayton next week. Boy, Jasper, their rough season continues tonight. They get steamrolled 42-zip over Carthage. It's the second week in a row that the Bulldog offense has been shut out.
You're right.
So, something's got to give. That offense it'll be coming along here soon. It's fine, but it's just 2 weeks in a row. Of course, got to go back and watch film and get these boys. Hey, listen, it's not over yet. It's only the first district game, but you got to have a better showing here.
And that one's not even that one's not even district. The Carthage is
non-district game. I meant. So district play is you'll be fine. You are still fine.
No, Kendrick Crumity was talking about how young these guys are and that they're going to continue to develop and they're going to remember losses like this. And next year and the year after may not be the same Jasper team that you can beat up on.
All right. Well, hey, listen, more 409 Sports Blitz coming up after the break. Stick around, to go anywhere.
Another set of cheerleaders happy about the results from tonight's game. Welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz.
Yeah, let's go back to our game of the week here because show you a little bit of highlights here as the Bridge City Cardinals take on Lumberton Raiders. They win, 40-23?
They ended up winning 40-17, I believe.
And so Bridge City, comes out, big win tonight. And, that was Hunter Ford, 40-17 right there. So the Cardinals had a big run there. And then just the defense, big slam, and they just been doing what they've been doing all season long.
Absolutely. Lumberton is, again, I think that they're starting to realize and remember what they were. And I think Coach McDonald is doing he is. It's not even just a measurement of this game. He is doing a phenomenal job. But let's go ahead and send it back out to Cam Burchett. She's waiting patiently. The game has went final last time we were out there with you. Of course, it was still going on, although it didn't really affect the score that much, 40-17 being the final. Talking to both coaches, they just kind of felt like, this one was a big one, and homecoming for the Bridge City Cardinals ended up being a great success.
It absolutely did, and especially on week 1 of district play, Holton, Nick, it was a great one from start to finish. And again, that final score of 40-17. Now, we already know how the first half went. It was awesome all around, but it's the second half that we really want to focus on there. Now, again, previously for any of their opponents, Bridge City has not let any of them score above 14 points. The Lumberton's Raiders were able to get by with 3 points, especially with the 3-point conversion that they got in the second half there. But then that's all they were able to put on the board against the Cardinals defense. It's district play again, so now is the time to lock in, and that's exactly what the Cardinals did. With 2 minutes left in the game, there were back-to-back touchdowns in the fourth quarter from Abraham Mania and Braxton Lime. After the confetti settled, I spoke to Coach Josh Smalley, and he said lots of players on the team actually had to step up and play positions they never have before, and he singled out John Smart, who, mind you, ran an 80-yard touchdown tonight. He hasn't played this position he filled in for in 2 years. Now, guys, again, that's crazy because, again, that final score was 40-17. The next week, they take on the Vidor Pirates, and Coach Smalley told me all they are going to do is take it one day at a time. And here at Larry Ward Stadium, the dust has settled, so has the confetti. That's all we can do here, too, after the Cards defeated the Lumberton Raiders 40-17. You guys, it was a great game again, just like I've said. From start until the end, it was a fantastic game. Lots of highs, lots of lows. There were a lot of flags called tonight on both sides of the field. So honestly, both of these teams probably have a little bit to work on each week, and that's something Coach Smalley said. There's always room for improvement, and again, it still rings true again. But here, week 5 in district play for Bridge City, they've got their first win of this season in district, and so we're looking forward to how these guys continue to soar on as it continues. But again, here at Larry Ward Stadium, Cameron Burchett for 409 Sports Blitz. Go ahead and send it right back to you guys there in studio.
Great job tonight, Cameron. Great job tonight. And tell Coach Smalley I said hello, by the way.
No doubt about that.
Let's talk about the P&G Indians, though. This is your squad. You love this team, and they're a great team. Jeff Joseph continues. Picked up right where they left off, and that's not a good thing for Montgomery.
No, number 4 team in the state. Indians kind of hit the road tonight. They traveled to face off against Lake Creek. Just 2 years ago, they were a top 5 team.
Exactly.
The year before, they were a top 5 team. We'll see. Hey, coming off the bye, that could be deadly for Lake Creek there.
A week of rest, especially for a team like Port Neches Groves. I don't even think they need to have a week of rest. This team can do it all. Continuing to march to make again that deep playoff run. We're looking forward again. This game was a shootout. Last year, P&G took it 62-56. But Connor Bailey, definitely an impressive presence under center. He threw over the middle to Golke with a good grab and run to move the chains for the Indians early. But later in the drive, Bailey drop set, of course, drop pass, and then we bring it back in. The toe drag back there looks left and finds Brisboe at a toe down for the Indians touchdown. P&G, this is what they're able to do. They can kind of wear you out with the run, but Connor Bailey has such an idea about throwing the football. You see it there. The play action, he finds Golke again over the middle. He just missed out on a touchdown there, getting tripped up inside the 5-yard line. With all that beef up front, go ahead and hand it off to Diaz. Let him do the rest. Finds pay dirt and extends that Indian lead. Now, the Indians' defense is definitely one of the better and kind of almost underrated squads in this area. They keep it up the middle for the Lions. They're going to stop, and this has been a great game. You'll see the draw with Tyson in a little while, but a great job for Port Neches Groves. And let's go ahead and show that final. Yeah, man. Look.
Listen, this is a 42-0 game at halftime, and they just kind of let their foot off the gas. And this game was over after the first half.
No, I think you start settling in. You start having some different guys come in, second stringers and stuff, and that's where your 21 points comes in from. But it's now time for Hit of the Week, and we're headed back out to six-man football.
Hit of the Week, sponsored by First Security Bank.
Who said six-man football wasn't exciting, man? The legacy, the fumble, of course, the knock there, great hit, fantastic hit, Ben Kirkendall. The fumble recovered by Bronson Wendler. Look at this, man. What a great hit. All right, we'll be right back after this.
All right, Silsbee Tigers looking to get back in the win column after that tough loss against Westbrook last week. They had to travel to a dangerous Hitchcock team. Jacob Johnson pitches to Jacob Love, fumbles the football. Brian Harris picks it up, rumbles for a touchdown. Silsbee was on top of it right there, but Tigers come back on offense. Johnson calling his own number, quarterback draw, runs into the end zone. Silsbee gets back with
kind of looks like Vince Young.
Yeah, a little Vince Young action.
Vince Young action there.
Silsbee goes for two. Johnson going to get some heavy pressure here, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, falls right short. And then, so Tigers, they said, okay, that's fine. Hitchcock now goes back on offense. Jordan Shannon going to sling it right over the middle to Tedrick Charles for a first down for Hitchcock. Great passing catch right there. A few plays later, Shannon's going to hand off to Terrell Stinson. Watch him. He's going to just dump truck up everybody. Boom! Knock somebody over. Boom! Get out of my way. That is a touchdown. Let's go to the big board because it was all Hitchcock in this one. 37-16, your final. All right, let's go to our play of the week.
Play of the week.
Sending us back out now to our game of the week, actually, the throw out. And, of course, you talked about it. I mean, that was, oh, my goodness. I coming back and watching this, I forgot how good it was. You had so many defenders for Lumberton. It was a screen pass.
Abraham.
I mean, it looked like maybe like a slant screen pass type. I mean, that was an incredible play. Look, scanning the field, first of all, great presence there. A great leap and grab, too. Three guys right there. Three guys right there with the missed tackle. The juke move back
that's
inside.
5 guys, 6 guys, 7 guys, 8 guys right there.
You got a hand on him. Still didn't matter.
Oh, my.
Still didn't matter.
We called that Montana X back at PNG.
That's good stuff right there.
That's our play of the week, boys.
That's good stuff. All right, after the break, we'll be right back with some more 409 Sports Blitz. Welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz.
All right, let's look ahead to next week's games. There's a big games out there, especially our game of the week, LCM and Hardin Jefferson.
Yes,
We're going to Sour Lake, boys.
1-1 for each of those squads. Blitz City, of course, going to Vidor, Anahuac, and Orangefield. So Anahuac, that game's still happening. And Orangefield needing a bounce-back win. Huntsville, Port Neches, and then, of course, Dayton and
Look at that. Hargrave and Lumberton and Galveston Ball, Port Arthur Memorial. Look out for that one. That's PA.
I'm pretty sure that's their homecoming too. But that's gonna do it for us on the Blitz. You can watch the highlights from tonight and across the state on Texas High School Football Plus, or now on 12 News Plus. You download on your TV and watch for free.
Yeah, we wrap things up with another performance for our band of the week, the Lumberton Raiders. Have a good night. Have a great weekend.